So, hey Capricorn, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for whenever you find it in 2026. And one card sticks to my hand, wants to come out. What is it? The World card. Closure, closure, closure. Another one wants to come out. The Four of Cups. Let's just see what comes up, right? And then you go, right? Standing your ground, closing something, you might still hang on to it and you're a little grumpy and you don't want to move forward, right? So you're looking at your past, basically, and whatever you achieved in the last cycle. 2025, the last 9 or 10 years, maybe even since 2008 or maybe longer, right? There are so many closures, so many circles that are closing themselves in 2026, and new ones are opening. Thank God for that. So you're a little skeptical about the new thing. Capricorn is the last sign of the zodiac, of the year, I should say, but it also is the first sign of the year, if I'm right? So you're kind of in between the years, in between cycles. And this is the picture that shows up here. But you're going to pick up this cup. This is the Ace of Cups, by the way. Self-love, self-respect, loving yourself. There's also joy, right? And then you go for it. So you're in this moment, kind of in between. And you're a little exhausted, you're a little grumpy, you're a little, Four of Cups energy. The World card is clarified by the Four of Wands. It is time to rejoin life again. It is time to be joyful again, right? And what is this thing that is handed to you? This is pretty much the Ace of Cups, right? This cup handed to you from the cloud, from the divine, basically. Self-love, self-respect. You might have learned this since the World card is here, and it's time to practice that in the world. And you're sitting there not as someone, you might feel a little groggy, you might feel a little exhausted and not exactly ready to get on that horse, and be the jolly good fellow. But you're going to get there. And look who you are, clarifying that is your energy, the Hierophant, right? Someone who learned a big fat lesson. And this big fat lesson might have been about standing your ground, right? Overcoming stagnation, overcoming self-doubt, rediscovering self-love. And now you're showing up in the world as that. You're moving on from your broken heart. That might be the reason why you're a little bit grumpy, right? But there is the Ace of Wands and kind of indicated the Ace of Cups here as well in the Four of Cups. So 2026, summer 2026, I think they were pretty good, all of them. So you should definitely check out the summer 2026 reading and the yearly reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, if you want the full picture. There is one card that asks to be shown. And this is Rings of Light, positive news. A positive result or joyful message arrives and brightens your day. Once you receive it, you may want to pause for a moment to reflect on the people and things that matter most to you. Thank the universe for these gifts of love, friends, family, community, country, world, universe. Is it not all important? Isn't that all a blessing? The universe is inside you, for you are the luminous essence from which all stems. Let us give thanks to this eternal blessing and great mystery. Giving thanks to the eternal blessing and the great mystery, you're not exactly feeling it, right? You're not feeling it because there is so much to stomach from the old circle, from 2025, from the last 9 or 10 years, from 2008, which was Pluto in Capricorn, by the way, right? This was your way of just doubling down on your efforts, trying to go with the head against the wall, Capricorn, my dear. But this is over. Working harder, being harder on yourself is no longer working. And you have to make that switch from doubling down, working harder, aiming higher, give it 110, 115%. Please don't do this anymore. It's all about joyful creation. It's all about internalizing and practicing your wisdom that you have learned in the last 9, 10 years, maybe since 2008, right? Pluto's in Aquarius now, so it's all about flow. It's all about this guy. It's all about, yes, you're the Hierophant. Yes, you learned so much. You're not losing that. You can take that cup of joy, of love, of playfulness, and get on that horse, right? And stand your ground in a different way, not by fighting, that's what I always say, not by jumping down into the mud down here, right? Where these people with the sticks are. Maybe they're not even there, maybe they're just sticks. We don't see them. But don't take everything personal. Don't try to defend, engage, personalize, or explain yourself to narcissistic, toxic people. You did that en masse in the last 9, 10 years, certainly in 2025. Playfulness is the new standing up. Playfulness and joyful creation is the new way of upholding your frequency. Be a little more in the moment and slow down, right? Even if the Knight of Wands is the fastest knight of the tarot deck, he's also the most playful knight of the tarot deck. Claim your independence wants to come out. Cat spirit. And I'm going to read this to you because that's more a shorter reading here, just to give you an idea. If you're resonating with this, what's coming next, you might be a little exhausted, but all you had to learn is learned. The last step is just to get up from that, from sitting down and staring at your 3 cups, and take the cup of joy, of happiness, of joyful creation. And cat spirit, claim your independence. When cat spirit meows, she is calling you to claim your independence and for some space and allow for some space between you and the others in your life. The only way you can grow in all your relationships now is to have a healthy sense of self-respect and self-worth. Yes. When you walk with dignity, knowing who you are, self-aware and willing to grow, trusting the value you bring, the world will mirror all this back to you. When you say no to codependency and enmeshment, live and let live and practice taking risks as you wander into new territory for you, cat spirit rejoices. She is here to urge you to let your independent spirit roam free. Yeah. And I would say when you're coming from the World card, closure, 2026 opening of new circles, no rush, right? Slow down. Take it slow. Don't, everything that is rushing you, everything that is pressuring you, everything that is creating a sense of urgency. No. Playfulness, joyful daily creation, yes. And that is the good news, right? You can slow down. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be rested, you deserve all that. All that what you probably, Capricorn, right, denied yourself since 2008 because you were very, very focused on achieving something, on checking boxes, on external recognition. Please let that go, which is hard for you to do, right? And be a little more playful. Be enough and don't jump down into the mud with the pigs. Don't defend, don't engage, don't personalize, don't explain even. Not everybody deserves that. A simple life, inner and outer peace, go for happiness, not greatness. and keep a low profile. That's the big advice here. And honestly, sometimes it is better to be alone than to be in bad company. Somebody needs to hear that. A friend is someone who gives you complete freedom to be yourself. That's Jim Morrison. Very true. Right? So be yourself a friend. Allow yourself to be yourself. And you deserve joyful creation every day. Never argue with a fool. You did that. I feel like you did that in the last years en masse, right? Never argue with a fool. And that's pretty much all I got. And I hope it resonates with you. If you want the full picture, check out your sun, moon, and rising sign. There is a summer 2026 reading, which is kind of covering the entire summer till September, basically. And then you got the yearly reading. And check that out if you want a little more impressions and guidance. You're welcome. Thank you for your time here. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. And hopefully see you next time. Ciao.